In the quiet town of Willow Creek, nestled deep in the heart of the forest, resided a quaint little cottage known as the Hawthorne House. The house stood as a relic of a bygone era, its dark wooden beams weathered by time, windows shrouded in cobwebs, and an air of mystery that surrounded it like a thick fog. The house had long been rumored to be haunted, its history steeped in tragedy and whispers of restless spirits that wandered its halls. Locals avoided it. Children dared each other to approach its darkened doorstep, but none had ever ventured inside. The Hawthorne House loomed like a specter, casting a shadow over the town that refused to be dispelled. One stormy night, a group of teenagers gathered around a flickering campfire at the edge of the forest, sharing tales of the Hawthorne House and the legends that surrounded it. Among them was Sarah, a bold and adventurous soul who scoffed at the superstitions that held her peers in thrall. "I'll go inside," she declared, her eyes alight with determination. "I'll prove once and for all that there's nothing to fear in that old house." The others laughed nervously, warning her of the dangers that awaited within, but Sarah was undeterred. She bid her friends farewell and set off into the forest, the wind howling through the trees as she made her way towards the looming silhouette of the Hawthorne House. As she approached the front door, she hesitated for a moment, the weight of the legends pressing down upon her. But she took a deep breath and raised her hand to knock, the sound echoing through the silent night like a death knell. Knock, knock. The door creaked open, revealing a yawning darkness that seemed to swallow the feeble light of Sarah's flashlight. She stepped inside, her heart pounding in her chest as she surveyed the dusty, cobweb-covered interior. The air was heavy with the scent of decay, and a shiver ran down her spine as she moved further into the house. She wandered through the empty rooms, her footsteps echoing on the creaking floorboards. The furniture was draped in dusty sheets, the windows boarded up, and the silence was oppressive, broken only by the sound of her own breathing. As she reached the top of the stairs, a chill ran through her as she heard a soft, melodic humming drifting through the darkness. She followed the sound, her flashlight casting eerie shadows on the walls as she moved towards the source of the haunting melody. Turning a corner, she entered a room bathed in a soft, ethereal light. In the center of the room stood a figure cloaked in shadows, their back turned towards her as they continued to hum their haunting tune. "Who's there?" Sarah called out, her voice trembling. The figure turned slowly, revealing an ancient woman with hollow eyes that seemed to pierce straight through Sarah's soul. She smiled a twisted, malevolent grin, her voice a whisper that seemed to come from the very depths of the earth. "Welcome, child," the woman crooned. "You have finally come to me." Sarah's blood ran cold as she realized that she was not alone in the Hawthorne House. The woman's words echoed through her mind, sending a chill down her spine as she backed away, her heart pounding in terror. But the woman reached out with gnarled hands, her touch cold as ice as she beckoned Sarah closer. "Don't be afraid, child. I have been waiting for you." Sarah turned to flee, but the door slammed shut with a deafening crash, sealing her fate within the dark confines of the Hawthorne House. The woman's laughter echoed through the halls, a chilling sound that seemed to seep into Sarah's very bones. Desperation clawed at her as she searched for a way out, the walls closing in around her like a vice. But no matter which corridor she turned down, she found herself back in the same room, the woman's mocking smile following her every move. In a final act of defiance, Sarah screamed, her voice echoing through the house as she faced the woman with a newfound resolve. "Who are you? What do you want from me?" The woman's eyes gleamed with a fierce hunger, her form beginning to shift and contort before Sarah's horrified gaze. "I am the spirit of the Hawthorne house," she hissed, her voice a cacophony of whispers that seemed to come from all around. "And you, dear child, are my newest plaything." With a sudden burst of dark energy, the woman lunged towards Sarah, her form twisting and warping into a monstrous visage that defied all reason. Sarah screamed as the creature enveloped her, its icy grip dragging her down into the depths of the house, where only darkness awaited. And as the first light of dawn broke over the horizon, the Hawthorne house stood silent and still once more, its secrets buried deep within its walls for all eternity. The legend of Sarah's disappearance would haunt the town of Willow Creek for generations to come, a grim reminder of the price one pays for daring to unlock the mysteries of the past. And the next time someone dared to knock on the door of the Hawthorne house, they would hear a soft, melodic humming drifting through the darkness, a chilling invitation that would echo in their nightmares for years to come. For the spirit of the Hawthorne house was a patient and malevolent entity, waiting to claim its next victim in a never-ending cycle of fear and despair. And as long as the house stood, the sound of knocking would never truly cease, a harbinger of doom that would forever linger in the shadows of Willow Creek. The end.